Good morning students, my name is Renu Yadav and in this session we will be discussing about class 3rd, Science, chapter 9, part 2, Water as a Resource. Children, the water which we use is not pure. It has a lot of impurities in it because of several reasons. Because of the human activities which we do make the water dirty. People used to dump waste in rivers and lakes. People used to wash their clothes. Their kettle used to bath there in the rivers, which make the water bodies dirty. Now, impurities in water are of two types. If we talk about impurities present in water, impurities are of two types. The first one is soluble impurity and the other one is insoluble impurities. Okay? Impurities can be divided into two, soluble and insoluble. Now, what is soluble impurity? Impurity which get, or the substances which used to get dissolved in water is called soluble impurity. Okay? And there are two things which used to get dissolved in water, those things are soluble. Okay? Soluble impurities are there. Then insoluble impurities, the impurities which do not dissolve in water are called insoluble impurities. Okay? These impurities dissolves in water and these impurities does not dissolve in water. Okay? Now we will try to learn few methods by which we can remove these kind of impurities. First of all, let us see that how can we remove insoluble impurities present in water. Removing insoluble impurities present in water. Here we will learn about few methods by which we can remove insoluble impurities in water. Okay, so the processes are, the methods are sedimentation, decantation, filtration. Now children, we will be discussing about the three methods by which we can remove insoluble impurities: sedimentation, decantation and filtration. Now let us discuss about sedimentation first. Children, see, this is a glass of water. Okay, it is crystal clear, right? For now, this glass of water do not have any impurity in it. Now, see, this is sand. Alright. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to put this sand in the water. See. Okay. And now I will allow it to settle down. I'll give it little time and let it settle down. Let us see what will happen. Now see children, this is a muddy water now, right? If muddy water is allowed to stand, like we are not touching it, okay, it's not moving. Now what happened? The sand, it is settled here, down here. You can see this is sand. Show it to you. This is sand. It's settled down here, right? The sand settled down here and we have clear water upwards. If the muddy water is allowed to stand in a container, mud will settle down. As we can see, the mud here, it got settled down at the bottom of the container. This settling down of insoluble impurity like mud present in water is called sedimentation. Here what happened? That the mud got settled down at the bottom and we have clean water upwards. See, I'll use little more. Let us see. See, I poured more sand, but then also it is settling down only. Okay. So when the mud used to settle down at the bottom, this process is called sedimentation. This is the first process for removing insoluble impurity. Okay. So now what is happening? The clean water we have the clean water up and down we have, at the bottom we have mud. Okay. Now the second process is decantation. Okay. Now what will happen? What I'll do is I will take another glass and this glass is empty. Okay. This glass do not have any water. This glass is completely empty. Okay. Now what I will do, I will take this water and I will start pouring it into this water, but carefully, so that this mud will not enter into it. Let us see. See, what I did is I poured the clean water into another glass. Okay, so the clean water is here in the other glass and the insoluble impurity is here. Okay, the clean water is here and the insoluble impurity is here. You can see it. See, this is the water and this one is the insoluble impurity. Okay. Alright. So when we will do this thing, this process is called sediment decantation. That the insolubility will be removed from water, like the water and the insoluble impurity will be separated. What I did is I poured the water which was with impurity into another glass, where the clean water got collected somewhere else and the sand remained into the glass. This process is called sediment decantation. Okay, the first process was sedimentation and this process is decantation. The pouring of clear water on top of the sediment into another container. Okay, I took it into another container. This process is called decantation. Okay, what we did in sedimentation? In sedimentation, we we were having muddy water which was filled with mud, okay, but what happened, the water was on the top and the mud settled down at the bottom, right? This was sedimentation. And in decantation, what happened? In decantation, the mud was separated from the water. I took another glass in which I poured the clean water only, okay. The clean water was poured and the mud remained into the first vessel only, okay. That process was decantation. Now the third process is filtration, okay. Now see children, we all are having filters at our home, right? Water filters are there at our home, and what they used to do? They used to purify water. All the impurities are removed by those water filters. Okay, this is another method of removing insoluble impurity present in water. Before these Kent ROs and all, there were candles like things. Okay, I'll show you the diagram of it. See, these are the candles, and what happened, the water used to go through these candles and all the germs will get collected over it. These are white candles, and when they used to collect water after a month, they used to turn into yellow. Okay, so those are the germs which get collected over the candles and you used to get clean water. Okay, and nowadays we are using UV filters, we are using AquaGuard filters for removing impurities from water. Alright, this was about removing insoluble impurities present in water. Now we will discuss about removing soluble impurities. About the methods of removing soluble impurities in water. Children, soluble impurities can be removed by boiling and by chlorination. We have two methods. The first one is boiling and the other one is chlorination. Now what is boiling? When we used to put water on flame, okay, when we used to heat the water for 10 to 15 minutes, it will kill all the germs present in water and it is safe for drinking. This is called boiling. And second one is chlorination. Adding chlorine to drinking water to make it safe for drinking is called chlorination. When we add chlorine to water, it will remove all the germs and it is safe for drinking. These are the two methods by which we can remove soluble impurities. So children, we learnt about methods for removing insoluble impurities in water, that is sedimentation, decantation and filtration. Okay? And for removing soluble impurities in water, we have two methods. They are boiling and chlorination. Okay, now children, I am going to write a worksheet on the board, and what you have to do is you take your science copies, write that worksheet, write all the questions and then write the answers of it. Okay, let us start writing. First of all, write the date and write revision worksheet 4. Now the first question is, tick the correct answer. Children, here I will be writing question with two what you have to do is read the questions, read the option, and whichever option is correct, you have to tick mark that option. Okay? First question is an example of soluble impurity present in water is germs or mud. Which one is insoluble impurities among germs and mud? Then second question. The change of water to water vapor is precipitation or evaporation. Okay, what you have to do is read the question, read the option, whichever option is correct, tick mark that option. Second, answer the following. First question. How can soluble impurities be removed from water? Here children, here you have to answer that how can we remove soluble impurities from water? And second question, what is rainwater harvesting? Okay, here you have to explain what is rainwater harvesting. With this children, I end up today's session. Thank you.